Jerry is not available today, but I am, and I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm very happy to talk to you guys today about a couple of things that have been on my mind, and also following the theme of what Jerry's been talking about for the last several weeks, which is the road less taken. Now, when I hear that phrase, what I think of is, there's easy ways to resolve things that we work on, like, and then there's hard ways, and the easier ways are, if I have an anxiety issue or I have some depression or I have some addiction, obviously none of the roads are easy, but there's ones that are quicker and ones that take a long, long time to resolve. And I was trained, I have a doctorate in psychology and I also have a master's degree in public health. And I was trained in those modalities that, especially in psychology, that, to work on trauma, to work on addiction, to work on anxiety and depression, it really takes a long, long, long time. And those routes are, they're about therapy, they're about meds usually, they're about groups, and they're about using all these different sort of Western modalities to try to improve your situation. And those modalities are really good to help stabilize you. They get you kind of they can give you some momentum. But the problem is that it's not really super intense. It's really, how intense can 1 week or one time a week for 45 minutes in a session be? It's with a therapist. It can be intense during those moments, but when you go back home and you got 6 other days in between those sessions, a lot happens and you get triggered and you can fall back into old patterns, and it's really hard to really get momentum and get ahead of whatever it is you're dealing with. So the road less taken is something that I look at when I talk about the program we're offering at Rythmia. And what we're doing at Rythmia is we're providing a roadmap for you to come and work on your issues that you're having, and to plug in, and to also go deeper in your own spiritual path. And if you have trauma or you have some, you're sober but you have some addiction history, maybe you feel a little uncontained and maybe a little triggered, but you got some sobriety, it's a program for you. It's not an addiction place, but it's for people that have some sobriety. It's really for people that want a life shift. It's for people that have lost themselves, that have become so busy in work, that have become so busy with their family, that have become so busy in other endeavors and are taking care of so many other people, but have neglected themselves. And that's kind of part of what life's about these days. And to sit with yourself and process your own feelings and to sit with what it is you're going through is hard. And that, it can be scary for some of us, and we don't really want to go there. So Rhythmia is about taking a week, unplugging from the world, coming down to beautiful Costa Rica, enjoying all of the modalities that we offer: plant medicine, breath work, yoga, really super healthy food that matches the dieta, which is part of the plant medicine diet, and great classes. We have guest speakers periodically that are these amazing people. Reverend Michael Beckwith from Agape comes all the time and teaches, and he's great. He's one of our favorite people. He's on our board of directors as well. We have an amazing board of directors that endorse this program. And so anyway, so what happens then is that you get to Rhythmia in Costa Rica, and every single sort of aspect of your day is structured for you to have time to sit, to have time to think, to have time to feel, and to have time to go through different experiences that help you get to the root cause of why you're feeling upset, or why you're feeling triggered, or why you're feeling lost, or why you're feeling dissociated, or all those things. Now, the road less taken, to me, is about the Rhythmia path, because it is really effective. We've had about 15,000 people come through our program. No other plant medicine facility that I know of keeps data on that many people about what their outcome experience was, their self-reported results of did they come and did they achieve what we call a life-changing miracle. Now, I have learned through our program myself, and working with Jerry for so long, almost 15 years I've been working with Jerry, um, that there's these three intentions that are super, super important that help cover the bases for everything that you might be wanting to work on or you might feel lost on. And one of them is, show me who I've become. And you lose yourself in work, you lose yourself in relationships, you lose yourself in trauma, and we get confused and we get off track. I want to see what I've become. I want to see, like, why am I not living my authentic true life? Why am I kind of acting? Why am I, putting on a facade for the world? Well, what you'll find is it's often rooted in childhood. It's often rooted, something happened when you were about 2 years old, or maybe 4 or 5. Usually it's between the ages of 2 and 7. And between that space of years, for whatever reason, you felt it wasn't safe to be you. And you started to show the world something different and something that wasn't authentically you. And that persona that you're showing the world has taken on its own life now. And it's this huge identity, and it's not really even you. And there's not a lot of people, if anybody, that even knows who you truly are. And so that first intention that we teach you at Rhythmia and that you work on helps you really see what you're showing the world, to have some awareness about it. And the second intention is merge me back with my soul at all costs. Now, what that means is connecting back with your true self and coming, not being dissociated is, a psychological term that I like to use. And dissociation is based out of fear, and it's based out of survival, and it's based out of shock, and it's based out of trauma. And when we dissociate, that's a survival mechanism, to not feel the emotions that are happening at the time, because those emotions are overwhelming and painful and scary and hard. And so what happens is we dissociate from those emotions, and we live in this sort of numb space for a bit. And then when the trauma is over, or the fear is over, we're supposed to connect back with ourselves. But the problem is that never really happens, because our society these days doesn't enable us or teach us how to plug back into ourselves. It just tells us to kind of just keep grinding ahead. And there's a lot to be said for, a Western culture that grinds ahead and just, like, handles business. But there's also components in there that it's lacking, where you really need to plug back into yourself in order to regroup and get focused again. But none of us really do that. And so the next event occurs, and then we dissociate more, and the next event occurs, and then so on and so on, and it snowballs. And pretty soon we're living in this numb, dissociative space. And that's where all the diseases start to pop up, all the mental health issues come up, and that's where relationship problems start happening. So the second intention of merging back with your soul is about connecting back with you and being grounded in who you really are as a person. After that, and kind of during that, while that's happening, there's the third intention, the final one, which is heal my heart. Now, healing of the heart has to do with letting go of all the pain, all the trauma you've been holding on to. If I was scared as a kid, I'm letting that go. If I was angry at my spouse about something, I'm letting it go. If I'm, confused about myself, I'm letting it go. Like, I'm letting all the fear, all this stuff I'm holding, all the burdens, I'm letting it go. I'm getting healing. I'm getting full of love and full of connection. And I'm understanding myself as I go through this process. And through that comes all this awareness and clarity and insightfulness, and all kinds of just amazing gifts. And our program is facilitated to help this process occur. And then after that, what happens is there's a bunch of staff and a bunch of support, and there's more sessions of breath work and things like that that happen throughout the week with the plant medicine, the ayahuasca, that all connects together. And the reason why Rhythmia is so effective, and why it's roughly 97% of the people who come through us have this occur, these three intentions happen, and they achieve their miracle. The reason is because we're fine tuning the program based on the data we're collecting from the guests. Meaning, are they going to the classes? Which ones are they going to? Are they missing some? Are they having this miracle happen? Are they achieving what they came for? So we're asking the guests all of this stuff. And over the last almost 8 years of being open, we've been able to fine tune our program to be the most effective that it is. And so we're not trying to add a bunch of new modalities. We are focused on the ones that we have and making them better, and working with the guests to make sure your experience is 5 stars. So there's a reason why, we're a very popular facility. And that's because the staff care about you. The staff care about your experience and want you to be safe and want you to be supported in this process and want you to feel that you can go deep, because being vulnerable in a healthy way is really, really good. But most of us are afraid to be vulnerable because the last time we were disappointed and we were hurt and it was scary and it was upsetting. So we really need to learn how to be vulnerable in a healthy manner. And that's what this program allows us to do. So it kind of leads us back to that. So the road less taken for me is oftentimes, it's less traveled because it can be a bit harder. And is rythmia hard? I would say, yeah, it is. But is it worth it? Absolutely. It's 1 week. I used to have patients in my practice in Los Angeles that, were working on their same issues as people that come to Rhythmia: trauma, addiction, anxiety, depression, whatever, all the different normal stuff. And it would take years and years and years for them to get headway and to get progress. And I remember one time a patient of mine who I thought there was some progress happening, but apparently there wasn't. It had been 4 years, and she looked at me and she says, maybe 3 years, but it was a long time. And she looked at me, she says, "Now that I trust you, I can open up more and talk about my trauma." I was like, whoa, that took like 3, 4 years to do that. It's like, that's a long time. That's an expensive process. And that's a long, drawn out process. Wouldn't it be nice to get the momentum going in a week instead of 3, 4 years? I think it would be. So what Rhythmia does is it gives you that opening to do the work and get the healing and then move forward with this new perspective and this new approach and this new way of looking at your life and looking at yourself. That's what this whole thing's about. And we have tools that we teach you how to use. So this isn't a magic pill you take it and everything's better. It's like, there's magic happening, but what happens is you learn for yourself what you need to do to be successful and happy, and you can employ those tactics when you leave. And what we see happen often, most of the time, is that a guest will come and they don't have any experience with any of this stuff. It's their first time with ayahuasca, it's their first time with breath work or whatever, and they're a little nervous, but then they really, it feels comfortable for them. They love the process. It's hard, they go up and down with it, but they break through. And then at the end of the week, they look different, they feel different, they look amazing, they feel great. And they're tired, but they feel great, rejuvenated. And then they say, I got to bring my spouse here, I got to bring my family here, I got to bring my friends here. And that's what they do. And then they come back and they bring their friends and family, and then everybody else gets this energy vibe going that's kind of working together on the same frequency, the same wavelength. What we're doing at Rhythmia is we're training light warriors and light workers to heal themselves, connect with their soul, go out in the world and make changes. So that's what this is all about. So we're a positive place trying to help the world, and the guests that come are these amazing people from all over the globe. I've met people from every continent, except I don't think Antarctica. I haven't met anybody from Antarctica, but every continent in the world, people have come here, and so many countries, so many different people, and they've had amazing experiences. So it's been, an honor to work at Rhythmia. And I had a professor one time who came in, and when I was first day of class in my doctoral program, and the professors usually give a big introduction about who they are and all their research and who they are, how important they are. And this guy came in and he said, it was very simple. He said, "I am who I am through the work that I've done and had with all of my patients," meaning that he has evolved and changed as a person because of the work he's done with the patients he's worked with as a psychologist. I thought that was so interesting. Well, that's Rhythmia. Rhythmia is what it is, in large part because of who you are and the work you've done there. You are a part of it when you come, and you are enveloped in love and in part of the family that we are and the group that we are. And it's just this beautiful experience. And I know that I am who I am because of interacting with all the people that I have. I've had the luxury of working with 15,000 people at Rhythmia, and probably another 20,000 in my career outside of that. So I have seen and been with a lot of people that are in a lot of difficult places, and working in psychology, working in that field, people aren't there because everything's going well, right? They're working with a therapist because their life is sort of a disaster. So I have a lot of experience working with people that are in crisis, and that energy is what I bring to the facility to help people feel stable, help people feel heard, help people connect, and help people get what they're there for. So come to Rhythmia. Come check out the road less taken. Let's get this handled. Let's do it in a week. Let's get you cracking and get the momentum flying so you can be happy. You can have success in the way you want. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I'm filling in for Jerry. All is well. I'm flying back down to Costa Rica tonight on the red eye. So I'm happy to get back on property. I'll see you guys soon. Come down to Rhythmia. Pura vida. Thanks for watching. See you next time.